that we have to go through a little bit of pressure, like a diamond, right? It's really need to be pressure, and then we have facets of life we can share and we can reflect back to others in a more healthy way, friends or relationships. Every session is coming from the spirit. Sometimes I have Kundalini style mixed with Hatha. Sometimes if this group of people needs some more yin, I just offer them yin, and then the fascial line and the meridian. So I really love all this modality that many rivers, in Thailand we have 4 main rivers. It merges into the one ocean called the Gulf of Thailand, which is nameless, the nameless ocean of love. So.
Welcome to this new episode, and today I am here with Bank. How are you, Bank?
Good, really great. Thank you, Luca.
Very nice. So we are in the beautiful village of Pai in northern Thailand, and I like to introduce Bank as a yoga practitioner, a yoga teacher, particularly specialized in pranayama, working with the 5 elements and also doing water therapy. Sounds very interesting.
Thank you.
First of all, Bank, I'd like to ask you, what is your journey in life up until now?
It's been like a few dark nights of the soul in the past, almost like talking about the past life or old life, where I grew up in a traditional Thai family. My masculine side, my dad was really drunk often, so it's a little violent, but they are my good teacher because I grew up through that ups and downs at a very young age. So basically it forced me to metamorph earlier than my peers. And I was trying to commit suicide, and then it didn't work out in the ocean. The ocean keep pushing me up. And then I just really came out and just gave up and meditated and just felt the blissful tears, and then some inner spirit just almost like whispering me to run towards what I run away, which is my dad. So long story short, I came to my dad to give him a hug and say I love you, because he never said that to me and my little brother. So that concept of grace, of forgiveness, just a union, a yoga, which is deeper than just handstand that I practice, just off the mat, just really melt the ego in my dad's heart, and then we both cried tears of joy as a man. He never cried before, and so to me that is the big shift that has drawn me to this path of cellular awakening, or like awakening to myself, which is in my dad, and everyone who's violent, who's really quote unquote enemy, that I want to love them. And after that it shifted my whole biochemistry in my body, and my back chronic pain got healed. The right side, my dad, and I intuitively knew that even before I studied anatomy or yoga. And then just long story short, they remarried, and from the broken family, that hug, that forgiveness just make them, remarry, and then they are really happy, and then their union, which is their, to me, that's yoga off the mat and beyond the handstand or any fancy poses. Every time I go back, I see them hold hands, and I got some tears of joy almost every time, because that was in a quantum field that I never thought of.
Well, your story is really fascinating, yeah? I mean, coming from a background of violence, and then being able to heal yourself, but also heal the relationship of your father with your mother.
Yeah.
That's really extraordinary, and it's a beautiful story that you say. And now, I mean, you have a relationship with your father and your mother still.
Yeah, I do. Really, just went to visit them like a couple weeks ago, and just, really still healthy and really balanced. They are taking care of themselves. They do some stretches, yoga, and just really grateful. And was really touched to see them every time, and just to call them or video call. And You know, like I'm not sure about you guys, but most Thai parents, when they get older, to me they become more childlike. They send a funny cartoon sticker they make to kids every morning, like "Good morning Monday, Good morning Tuesday," and something like that just really kind of make my day. Even sometimes I don't have time to answer because I have a lot of classes to teach, a space to hold. But I try to call them and just keep in touch and stay healthy in a relationship with them.
You know, it's fantastic also the fact that you take the symbol of union, because of course yoga is union,
Yeah.
and you say it's not just doing the physical aspect and the practice, it's a lot more than that. It's actually being able to reunify a family in a way and heal the relationship with your father, which is such an important relationship in everybody's lives.
Yeah.
And this is very beautiful. And I mean, this happened before you were actually becoming a yoga practitioner, the way we see yoga, or was just after that?
It was when I was 19, but I already got the practice of physical practice of asana.
Okay.
And then I think that physical practice, that from the sweat into the shavasana that has some tingling in my spine, that kind of stick to me when I was really reaching the point of dark night of the soul. And then that spirit within, you can call that God, Kundalini, or whatever, that higher intelligence that want to love, want to inclusively embrace every demon in you, and that you project to your dad or others, quote unquote others. So that, to me, I think it's happened before. My physical practice happened before, and then I came to the ups and downs, really, you know, like metamorphing, trying to be pushing against the chrysalis and just really break free from that. It's just really, I think it's the process of many of us, like including maybe you, that we have to go through a little bit of pressure, like a diamond, right? It's really need to be pressure, and then we have facets of life we can share and we can reflect back to others in a more healthy way, friends or relationships.
I really like the fact that, you know, if the diamond indeed needs to go under a lot of pressure in order to shine. And it is true, like it's very common, because I interviewed many people now, and most people went through some sort of a dark night of the soul, and they had to, you know, face some major challenges in life, and that what prompted them, you know, to go through the transformation. If you have like more of a relaxed, happy life, you tend to just, you know, maybe not seek so much. Whilst when you're pushed to it, but then many people go through a lot of pain, and not everybody then turns into, you know, like a yoga practitioner, a respected teacher, etc., like you did. So that's really remarkable to see.
Thanks, brother.
And okay, so what is your journey in yoga after that? So you were very young, like 19, and so what happened after?
Well, I was in a mode of trying to get the scholarship, so I was like a nerd. In my IT degree, I was really trying to get scholarship because I grew up a little middle class to poor family in Thai family style. And then I worked really hard at a very young age to get scholarship into that university. Then I came to the first yoga class, Ashtanga yoga, super hard. And then, you know, just really fascinated by how I couldn't touch my toes at the very first class, and all of them are girls. Where's the masculine energy? I don't have friends. My crush, my kind of, you know, ex-girlfriend in my imaginary girlfriend invited me because I had some lower back issue, and then I went there. And after the first class, at the end, so it's like the spine got tingling in Shavasana. I just feel so much peace, and remind me almost time travel back when I was meditating with my grandma in a violent home. My grandma just took me in when dad and mom fighting in the bathroom with some, you know, some blood, and then just really calmed me down. And then she meditated almost every day, and then she took me to her presence, and that first yoga kind of reminded me back to that spiritual path of a little boy that has some sensation of tingling hand, electricity, and you know, it's almost like something hit, you know, up and out, and just really bliss and peace after a little ups and downs in the vinyasa flow in the Ashtanga, you know, and all those kind of ups and downs stuff. So it's an analogy for life, for most of our lives. And I think I fell in love with the aspect of energy and asana. You know, at the very beginning, I was really focused on some jump back, jump through, some handstand, you know, as a masculine young boy that's really want to attain, that's part of physical enlightenment before the energetic or spiritual. And so then I just came to the point where I was teaching before I had certificate, because I healed my back by that energy, just really graced me to heal my whole body. And then I just practicing and self-study first, and then I went to the IT job. I worked for a few years, only 2 years if I remember correctly. Someone's talking about past life, and I asked my boss to go to India, because I was asked to teach my peer and my supervisor, and they healed the back, by some modality, some stretching, some biomechanic, micro movement, and some posture correction. And then I didn't have certificate at all, and then people told me that, like, you heal many people, but you don't have the proper certification. Just go and get some certificate. And then I just asked for a month off to go, and my boss thought that's really the wrong decision that he allowed me to go, because I came back, I quit the job. So I was a manager at a young age. I climbed up a ladder quite quickly, and then but he's really grateful for me, because the calling is too overwhelming to stay in the 9-to-5 IT job. It's beautiful money, of course, but I just really have to follow the divine calling to jump off the parachute and just build my own brand, or just really go out of the 9-to-5 lifestyle to help others.
Makes sense, it's very good. And so Ashtanga, of course, very masculine practice, as you said, very body-centered. And I mean, now you say that one of the best practices for you, what you really love teaching, is pranayama, is that right?
Yeah.
So what is the beauty of the breath for you?
To me, I always feel really sensitive to the high oxygen in my blood. When I do some practice, I always use like Kapalabhati in handstand by myself for many years, even when I do Ashtanga. And then I just so high easily with that, and then just really feel like this power of oxygen, or to me, I mean, anything we read about science, I feel like until it's become your own direct experience, you are a liar to teach. So if you don't directly experience something and you teach about by memory, it's almost you're a hypocrite. So I need to feel like I embodying that, and have to be committed to this oxygen or living, Holy Spirit, or whatever you call it, Kundalini. And then it become more of the tingling energy, almost like electricity, that gives you some blissful goosebump or God bump. And then, like some of you might not understand, but one day you will by your own direct experience, because this energy is so powerful. It's want to breathe through you, even when you try to kill yourself by stop breathing. Because this energy is really around us. It's want to embrace us like a baby, like a child. But when you really practice high dose with the oxygen, with the pranayama, brastika, kapalabhati, or just deep breath work, or the modern breath work like Wim Hof, which is based on Hatha Yoga Pradipika anyway, you're gonna get so high, and you're gonna go through a really, really high super conscious state, or some you can go to subconscious at the end. And then both of this is almost like plus infinity and minus infinity, the white hole to me and the black hole to the dark night of the soul, and then they reach together in a torus field. And to me, that torus field of the plus and minus, north and south, east and west, when they are really holistically combined in all elements, it becomes so powerful. It can transform people who are really thick ego, including me, into tears. The tears of suffering become tears of joy. Even you just really go through the asana first, but then you come to the breath at the end. The energy just want to breathe through you when you die to your body. Before you die, just die to your old ego, old self, and just allow the tingling energy to work. And something might bubble up, at the end of Shavasana. I respect all style of yoga. I've been practicing many styles of yoga, but to me, I feel like it is really, we give thanks to the lineage, of course, but the thing is that powerful spirit or the energy that have is really universal. It's hard for me to find a word to make a box of what I have to offer, because whenever I teach, for the past decade I've been teaching, even before certification, I feel like every session is coming from the spirit. Sometimes I have Kundalini style mixed with Hatha. Sometimes if this group of people needs some more yin, I just offer them yin, and then the fascial line and the meridian. So I really love all this modality that many rivers, in Thailand we have 4 main rivers, it merges into the one ocean called the Gulf of Thailand, which is nameless, the nameless ocean of love. So
I really like the way you use symbology so effortlessly. It's really a part of you I can really see. Probably the way you see the world is through symbols as well, I don't know. But it's fascinating the way you use this language, I really like it. And how, of course, like pranayama, prana, it's life force energy itself. And if you can get lots of life force into your cells or into your brain, then you experience life in a different way. You're talking about tingling sensations. And it's great that for you it came very easy, right? From the very beginning you mentioned the tingling sensations and energy moving. For some people it might take a little longer to experience it. But if you do yoga and particularly you move beyond just the physical aspect, you start doing the breath and more esoteric types of yoga, you can experience this very powerful energy of the Kundalini, right? And for some people it just happens. And again, if you are like the diamond under a lot of pressure, you tend to maybe, there's more of a trigger for this energy to start. But then it's part of everybody, right? Everybody has the prana, everybody has the Kundalini.
Exactly.
Right?
And some people have to go through the accident, right? They hit the tailbone, something, boop, shake the whole body and shake the whole reality. And I think that's they don't have to go to asana first to have this. So it's the Kundalini, the energy of the divine energy, always want to find you, regardless how old you are. It's never too late, whenever it's your time. And I think part of me is that what I can remind myself, or the divine remind me, is that sometimes we have compassion to help others, and when that others are not ready, to peel the layers open, it's just our ego that want to help, because it's the trap, spiritual trap to me, is to try to help those who are really not ready. Because just like the fable story, analogically, that the little boy walked into the jungle, he saw the chrysalis, and he saw something moving in the chrysalis, that something almost tried to break free, and he cut that chrysalis open, and then that butterfly came out. They could not fly, and the butterfly died because the kids was trying to help, but then this butterfly is really not supposed to be like a diamond, right? Be forced down in order to shine brightly and out. So I think this is what I have been learning recently, to just really take it easy. We are not the savior of the earth, and we just allow the people who attract through it when they are ready, and we're not helping everyone.
One of the elements that you connect with quite deeply, both in your story of transformation and also in the kind of healing work that you do, is the water element, is that right?
Yeah.
And also you say that you base the water element within the 5 elements system as well. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
I always love waterfall. I grew up near the beach, near the island, the ocean, and I used to commit suicide by drowning myself, but I could not. So I feel like water, and my friend just asked me for my birthday, and then he told me that I'm a water, Pisces, so it's really swimming around. So to me, water is really one of the elements that is really halfway from the manifested earth, wood, to the air or space. To me, like, water is really strong yet flexible. It's flow, right? And when people of earth, who are really all about success or worldly success or ego or thickness, when they want to commit to the rehab or the program with us in all the modalities, I feel like when they come to water or be touched by the water, embraced by the water, they tend to melt easier. Instead of making them do the breath work, sometimes it's too esoteric for them because the breath is invisible. Or guide them to the energetic visualization or Merkaba or this esoteric practice that's too deep for them. if they are really not ready to be melt the ego, I think the water is a doorway to connect between heaven and earth, meaning that the earth and the space element. Because to me, I mean, they all are enlightened, you know, because everything that has space in it is already enlightened, including our ego. To me, that I practicing to see that even the people of the earth who really are about money, success, and building the career, is really, even they don't know spirituality, they deserve to remember that they are enough as they are, to be reminded, because they have the space of canvas of grace behind every atom inside them, and the atom is all 99.9999% space, right?
Yes.
So, but they cannot reach that 0 point field or the space element yet. So I think water, when they are really being held, you know, and they're open enough to be intimate, to be held like a baby, and going back to that mother's womb again, even the strong big men, masculine men, and they come, they're gonna be more balanced, you know, less disease, or the too soft or too esoteric female, they're grounding down by water too, because, you know, I think that is the middle path, I would say, to the all element, to the 5 element.
So the water is the middle path, and so you can use water to balance the other elements, and you do it through the water therapy.
Yeah.
So you take people to the water, like in Pai, I suppose, is the hot springs.
Yeah, the hot spring.
And that could be the ocean, or it could be a swimming pool.
Exactly.
And you just take them through this journey where they relax, and you hold them, and make them connect.
Them, sing for them. So to me, even it's water, you know, like therapy, holding, or just really doing some massaging or stretching in yoga style as well, micro moving. I also do some sound as well, because, you know, like sound is a vibrating air element, and sound and water can work together in that session. So it's basically, you know, like holistic. So it's not just water.
For sure. Sounds very good, interesting. You know, I like to try myself actually. I did experience water therapy, Wotsu, in Kopangan, but it's been a while. But now I like to ask you, what are your plans or projects or dreams for the next sort of, you know, few months and years?
Wow, it's a really hard question for me, because everything, especially past CV, I mean BC, or AC after COVID, right? BC before COVID.
Seems
right
like
after it seemed to be a little bit more flowable, and I'm trusting with all my heart that's going to be wonderful, fruitful. But the thing is that if I share with you now, it might change, to be honest with you. But the rough or tentative vision that I have is I'm going to be serving and based in Pai to host some retreat or private retreat sometime that I have opportunity, until mid-January, and after that I'm going to be back to either Chiang Mai or Phangan, and so we'll see. Yeah, I love to travel around a little bit during the little smoky season here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So yeah.
Because you told me before that you were based in Koh Samui for a period, working in Vikasa, and then you're now teaching at the Bohdi yoga studio here. And I mean, there's lots of potential for yoga. I mean, there's lots of demand for different kind of styles, yoga, etc. And you being such a strong practitioner, you can do TTC, teacher training courses, is that right?
Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
Okay, so I hope you end up in Kopangan, and if you do, like, it will be a great to deepen the relationship, you know, and then maybe go out for dinner or just you know hang out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you know, Bank, thank you very much for sharing your fascinating story. It's been very good pleasure for me to meet you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Kapun Krab. It's an honor. Thank you.